Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, and thank you for tuning in to today's video, which is in collaboration, very proudly might I add, with John Lewis. Now, as you would have seen from the title, today's video is all about the summer pieces that I am going to be taking through into my autumn wardrobe. Right, let's get stuck straight into my row, and I'm going to start off with item number, well, it's not really an item, is it? It's more of a category. Category number 1, which is basics. Now, those of you who are regulars here to my channel will know of my very deep and passionate love for basics. They are probably the hardest working items within my wardrobe because I have overall quite a basic wardrobe anyway. And in the summer months, these are items, vests, t-shirts, that kind of thing. These are items which I will wear on their own because obviously in summer it's nice and warm, it's nice and hot. I want to get the skin out. Now here I do have a little a mini selection, if you will, of a few basics that I've got from John Lewis. So first of all, I've got this racerback vest, which is from Reese. As you guys know, the racerback is definitely my favoured style and shape of vest. And this one is in the colour sage green, but it does come in a few different colours as well. Then we've got a super affordable t-shirt here, just a basic white t-shirt. As you guys know, a big wardrobe staple of mine, always something which is handy to have. That's from Mango, so that one's really, really affordable. And then this one here is from Whistles. It's a black t-shirt. It's kind of like a slubbed fabric, so it's got almost like a bit of texture to it, which I really like as well. So lots of different budgets and so many different brands all in one place. So in the summer, they'll be worn on their own. However, when it comes to autumn, even vests are not going to be packed away just yet because, as I just mentioned, they are great for layering. So as autumn starts to ease in, the temperature naturally is going to start to drop a little bit. So I wouldn't necessarily be wearing a t-shirt or certainly not a racerback vest on its own. However, layering is the way forward. So these are now going to be the key kind of items that I'm going to wear underneath, for example, a trench coat or perhaps other light outerwear like a blazer. You guys know of my love of blazers equally as much, and basics like vests and t-shirts work really well under blazers. If it gets a little bit nippier, I might wear a vest and then a t-shirt over the top so that I've got those warmth layers underneath. But they are still going to be pieces which are working very, very hard for me as we go into autumn. Right, moving on to my second category, and it is summer bags. Now, I've spoken about summer bags quite a lot, especially this season. And what I mean by summer bags, in case anyone has missed my kind of definition or what I would class as a summer bag, we're talking things that are like natural fibres, things which have got really big summer vibes to them. So basket bags, for example, things made of raffia or wicker or any kind of like those natural sort of woven textures, but also canvas bags. And it might just be me personally, but I feel that canvas bags definitely have more of a summer vibe to them. So as an example, I have this one here by Reese. It's ginormous. I feel like I have to move back to fit it in the screen. In fact, I bet I could sort of partially fit in that myself. It is absolutely huge. I mean, I love a big bag, so that is a bonus. I actually think that this could even potentially, doesn't have a zipper on the top, which is a minor drawback, but I think it could even work as an overnight or a weekend bag, depending on how much of an overpacker you are. It probably wouldn't work for me for a weekend, but definitely as an overnight bag, this would be amazing. So it's very minimal in style, so naturally it is something that I gravitated towards. It's got this really nice neutral oatmeal canvas, which has got a slight fleck to it. And then we've also got the black trim around the top here, a little stripe down the side to cover the seams, the handles, and also the bottom of the bag, which I love canvas bags that have something a little bit more durable on the bottom because that just makes them a million times more practical. And for anyone who is similar to me and is not particularly a fan of the logo, it only has that logo on one side, so you can turn it around and then it is completely plain. So that is more than likely how I would wear it, so that there was nothing else kind of obstructing all of the minimalism of this bag. Okay, moving on to my next item, and it is the T-shirt dress, which I know is not going to fit all the way into the shot, but yes, the T-shirt dress. Now, I think the T-shirt dress does, again, kind of like a basic, because I suppose it is really a basic, it's just a longer version. Again, it works really hard in my wardrobe. It's one of those things that I can wear around the house, one of those things which I'll wear out quite happily. You can style it up, style it down, so many different options, incredibly versatile. So this one here in particular is by Albury, and it's the most beautiful colour. So it's kind of, the way I would describe it, it's like a little bit of a mix between jade and khaki. It's a really, really nice green, which I think works really well for the spring summer seasons, but equally as well for autumn. And another thing which I think works really well for all of those seasons is the length. So this is more of a midi length, and that's one thing that I would say to go for in a T-shirt dress, or at least I personally do anyway. I go for either midi or maxi, and I go for a nice loose sort of flared fit, so that again there's just more versatility there when you're coming to styling it with different things. And also for comfort. So in summer, because it's a nice loose fit, it's obviously short sleeved as well, there's lots of ventilation in there. The fabric is really nice and lightweight, and it moves and doesn't cling to the skin. But then for autumn, and I don't know about any of you guys, but I hate wearing tights. So that is where having a slightly longer length of dress comes in handy, because of course the temperature is going to start to drop. So if you've got something that's at least covering the majority of your legs, then I feel a little bit more comfortable. But for autumn, rather than wearing it on its own, I will then start to layer perhaps something like a blazer over the top, and then team it with a pair of trainers rather than sandals, just so that it's more of an autumn weather appropriate outfit, and it makes a great day-to-day look. Right, on to the next category. This is my favourite category, I have to be honest with you guys, and it is lightweight trousers. Now, this year, potentially last year, but I would say this year in a big way, has been the start of a rather large love affair between me and trousers. So any of you who have been long-time followers will know that I was a massive fan of denim, and I still am, but I used to wear denim 90 to 95% of the time. I was always in jeans. However, and potentially it could have something to do with all the time that we've spent indoors and whatnot, but I have started leaning towards trousers a lot more, to the point where I'd say now I probably have a 60-40 split of denim and trousers. So trousers are a big part of my wardrobe now. Now, linen and linen blend has definitely been the sort of fabrics that I've been leaning towards and favouring for the summer months, because they're lightweight, they're nice and breathable, and I always go for this kind of loose sort of tailored fit. And I'll wear them with anything from something like just a basic vest or a t-shirt to perhaps a shirt, or a shirt layered over a vest, which of course I've spoken about before when I was talking about how to dress for hot weather. But now we're sort of coming into, and looking outside, we seem to be coming into autumn at a more rapid pace, because today is sweater weather, as you will see. But as we're starting to come into autumn, I'm thinking of ways to incorporate all of the trousers that I've got this year into some slightly more autumn looks. So these trousers here are a linen blend, and they are by the brand Jigsaw, which I know a lot of you guys will know that is one of my favourite brands. It's a British brand, and I really love them. They make super core minimal pieces, which I just think are incredibly versatile, and these are no exception to that. So I was thinking about how I would style these for autumn. And I think I would probably pair them, perhaps belt them, because they do have the belt loops, which is a feature that I love. So I'd probably belt them and then add in something like a chunky knit, or even go for the basic underneath and then a blazer over the top, or even a full of the ideas today, or even vest underneath, shirt over the top, and then if it's a little bit nippier, you could do a jumper over the shoulders just to get that really kind of layered look. And then depending on how chilly it is, I would probably mix up the footwear a little bit. So I personally really love the look when you're going through that sort of transitional stage between the seasons of a pair of trousers, a chunky knit, but still wearing a pair of, like, say, chunky sandals. So not flip-flops, but a pair of like nice chunky sandals, like Birkenstocks, for example. I think that's a really cool look. But if the weather was a little bit chillier, I'd probably swap those out for a pair of trainers. Right, item number 5 is shirts. And I've already referenced shirts throughout this video. I speak about shirts quite a lot because they are a really good sort of staple that I have within my wardrobe. They're one of those things which in some way I kind of class as a basic, even though they're not basics. Now this one here is from Whistles, and as you can see, I know it won't fully fit on screen, but it's an oversized fit, which I've mentioned before. If I'm gonna go for a shirt, the last thing I want is something super fitted. It just reminds me of when I went to school. So I want something that's oversized with a nice sort of masculine fit and something with also a decent length. Now the reason for that, aside from kind of avoiding the school look, is that I actually think that there's more versatility in having an oversized shirt. So you can wear them open over a vest, as I've already said, which is a really handy look for summer when you want to kind of cover up your skin. But also then you could button them up to sew kind of height here, tuck them into a pair of trousers, and you've got that layered look when wearing it over a vest. There's just so many different ways I think you can style a shirt. They can be worn over knitwear, under knitwear, especially when the weather gets a little bit chillier. And when you have something like a longer line shirt like this one by Whistles, you can wear something kind of like the jumper that I've got on here. In fact, I might pop this in one of the cutaways. You can wear that over the top, and because the shirt has the length, you get a little bit of that shirt peeking out the bottom, and it just gives a really nice layered look. Right, my next item will be absolutely no surprise to you all whatsoever, and it's what's inside this little pouch of goodness, and it is, of course, sunglasses. You guys know, I mean, it's unavoidable to know, even if anyone doesn't know me. You can take one look at my Instagram and know that I love my sunglasses. It could be the darkest, deepest, grimmest day in winter, and I will still have my sunglasses. Granted, I don't wear them indoors, but if I go outdoors, I pretty much feel naked without my sunglasses on. I just love them. They've been one of those things which over the years, I just feel like I can't really go out without. It's kind of like a bag. For me, I'll grab a bag and I'll grab my sunglasses, and we don't need sun to wear sunglasses. They act as a protector for the delicate skin around the eyes, and I just love wearing sunglasses. Now, John Lewis have a huge range of sunglasses. Sorry, my eyes just had to like acclimatise to the brightness then. An absolutely huge range of sunglasses, and again, lots of affordable options right up to super, super premium, which are these by Celine. Now, I actually did not know that John Lewis stocked Celine sunglasses, and when I found this out, well, it was quite dangerous actually, dangerous for the old bank account. And so these ones here are the square style, but lots of you would probably have seen me wearing several different pairs, but all the same, of what used to be known as the baby Audreys, but they are the round style with the slight cat eye flick at the sides. Admittedly, let's pop these back on again, because these are quite oversized. Now, the old school baby Audreys, they were kind of similar in terms of them being a bit oversized, but I think because they have the rounder frames, they don't look so oversized, if that makes any kind of sense. So if I had to choose, if it was a desert island scenario and I had to choose these or those, I'd probably choose those. But to be honest with you, Celine do not make a bad pair of sunglasses, in my opinion. Right, on to my next item, and it is light wash jeans. So I've already spoken about jeans, just touched on them earlier. And of course, jeans are still a big part of my wardrobe. I still love a pair of jeans. And for me personally, I don't know if anyone else feels the same kind of way, but there's certain washes and certain colours of jeans which for me I just feel give more summer vibes and they feel sort of more appropriate to summer. And that's kind of washes like bleach, like a vintage wash, and then the coloured denims like white, off-white, cream and all the kind of neutral colours. These ones here I would say are sort of like a light wash. These are by Reese, and what I love about these jeans in particular is the length. Now, as a long-legged person, I struggle somewhat when buying jeans. So for me, a lot of the time, jeans always end up as cropped, like not even talking ankle swingers, they're usually somewhere like mid-calf, especially with high street jeans. Now these ones are a decent length. They're long enough that I could cuff them or roll them up in summer if I wanted that slightly more crop look. But then as we go into autumn, I'd probably leave them at their, as they are, the standard length that they come in. And that for me is long enough to be able to wear them then with a pair of trainers, either whether they be high tops or lace ups or a pair of loafers or slightly more sort of autumnal footwear. And actually with regards to the lighter washes of colours of summer jeans, this is actually something that I really like. I find it very visually pleasing to have a lighter wash of denim but with a slightly darker, like black in particular, a lighter wash denim teamed with like a black chunky jumper. Personal favourite of mine. Or even slightly more autumnal colours like this jumper. Teaming those with a lighter pair of jeans is just a look that I am very, very fond of indeed. Right, on to my final item slash category within this video, and it is trainers. Now, I'm going to say more specifically canvas trainers, because trainers can be worn all year round, and I know a lot of us do wear trainers all year round. So I'm going to be specific and say canvas trainers. So we're talking things like Converse, whether they be high tops or low tops, or trainers like this, which I suppose are kind of like a low top Converse. So these are made out of these are by Kin, which is a John Lewis brand. In fact, I referenced Kin in last week's video when I was talking about handbags. The thing I like about Kin is that it's a really, really minimal brand, and they don't have loads and loads and loads of different styles, but what they do have I love, because they're very basic, really clean, really minimal, and they're just things which are most importantly wearable, like these trainers. Now, one thing that I would say about canvas trainers, the sort of downside of wearing canvas trainers any time of year, but specifically sort of autumn time, is that they're not the most practical if it comes to rainy days. So I avoid wearing canvas trainers when it comes to rainy days. A, because I don't want soggy feet, and B, because canvas isn't quite as easy to clean as your leather and your PU. So just in terms of practicality, I would normally avoid wearing them on a rainy day because I don't want to get them all muddy or puddle water and like oil and stuff, especially living in a city. It's just a nightmare wearing canvas trainers. And also, these are too beautiful to ruin. So as you can see, they're not stark white, which is something that I really like. I've got a lot of white trainers, but I like that these are slightly different. So these look really good with a lot of neutral toned outfits, which bodes well for me because, as you guys know, I love my neutrals. And then another feature I also really like about these is this ridged, like reeded or ribbed gummy colour sole. I just really love that combination of the cream sort of off-white canvas and then this gummy coloured sole. I just think they're a really good basic staple to have in my footwear wardrobe. Right guys, there we go, that's me done. Those are my kind of key summer items that I'll be taking through into the autumn season. If you guys have got any summer items that you find you wear a lot through the autumn season, pop them down in the comment section below. Thank you as always for watching, and I will see you next time.